Now, to help us understand more about this, let me bring in our guest, Professor Yuguang. He's the Vice Chair of the Space Transportation Committee of the International Astronautical Federation. Professor Yang, great to have you with us on China 24. So let's talk about this. The Long March 8 now has an increased launch capacity from 3 tons to 4.5 tons. What's the significance of this for our future space programs? And what other pursuits can we have based on this success?
Thank you, Mama. So you see that sun-synchronous orbit is very useful because light condition is very stable in this orbit. So it's very good, very useful for the Earth observation satellites. So you see that these kind of satellites are well commercialized. So reducing the cost is a very considerable issue for us. You see that we do have launch vehicles with the capability much more than 4.5 times, as you mentioned, such as Long March 5 and Long March 7. But you see, using these launch vehicles to launch a payload with mass between 3 to 4 times, to some extent, will be a waste of resources. So to be practical and to be more economical, we developed this Long March 8 launch vehicle, and it uses the core stage and the boosters of Long March 7, and also use the third stage of Long March 3A. So it has a very good basis, and the development saved a lot of money, and it will be very practical in the international launch market. And moreover, in the future, as you mentioned, we develop our own reusable and recovery technology with this launch vehicle.
We want to make this comparison between the Long March 8 and other models worldwide. The U.S. SpaceX has just shot off the Falcon 9 rocket carrying the Syrian XM satellite into space, and both the Long March and the Falcon are carrier rockets. Help us understand the difference here and what impresses you most with each of these two rockets.
You know, for recovering the rocket and also reusable and reducing the cost, we still have a long way to go. Well, the SpaceX Falcon 9 has already launched so many times and recovered so many times, so they have already mastered this technology. And also, the Falcon 9 has a very high performance, but to my understanding as a technician, you see that their high performance comes from their very good basis for so many years, for at least 70 years. You see that there are two very important figures of Falcon 9 which is extremely high. One is the dry mass, and the other is the pressure of their combustion chamber in their rocket engine. So they use the so-called lithium aluminum alloy in their whole vehicle. But this is based on the very practical industry. So if we have this kind of industry, we can also have this kind of high performance. And because the pressure in their rocket chamber is very high, it needs the material technology and processing technology to be very advanced. So you see, it have a very good base. If we can have this kind of base, we can also have a very good high performance launch vehicle as the Falcon 9.
All right. Thank you so much for your analysis, Professor Yang Yuguang. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mama.